Back, race fans, and we're jumping right into it. This is a battle of black and gold versus, well, gold and black. Sam Hall, will he make it? And will he make it? The Turbulence is a feared car in the downhill racing community, but Willie's 250 Testarossa showed an incredible amount of speed in its first set of rounds. There's only one way to find out how this is going to go. Turbulence looking like it's lengthy now, going into the spiral. The 250's all over him. He gets flipped. Turbulence going down backwards, but goes sailing into the box. 8.551 at a staggering 290 scale miles per hour. We may have to bring up a replay just to see what happened to Willie. That was moving. Turbulence to be feared indeed. The extra 20 grams of weight showing its effects to quite a staggering amount on Willie Make It. But the lanes are switched and the cars are racked. Here we go. Willie Make It ahead. Turbulence looking but gets cut off. And they're down into the box. Willie Make It pulls it off, but he does it in a 9 flat. That's the second one we've seen this racing series. Ain't that weird? That means Willie is, well, not knocked out, but his Testarossa went away. Seems to be a growing theme of Ferraris ending up on trailers in this series, and I don't quite understand it. Round 8, Match 1, and if you followed with the first video showing races 1 to 6, you know that Wertner had the devastating Super Duty wrecker plucked from his clutches, and now he's relegated down to his backup car. Steven Stewart, in the Mini Cooper, looks to shove him completely out of the way. The Mustang looks to be hanging on, but the Mini is taking off. No, the Mini gets caught up in the bridge, and they both stall. Looks like a reset. After Steven had his bell rung, let's have perhaps a second shot at that first run. And once again, the Mini showing superior speed, and this time he keeps a hold of it. The short wheelbase being scary, but this time he lays it out straight. Wertner not looking too hot right now, as we settle down at the timer 9.262. I'm not saying the show's already over, because it never really is here on the Hollow, but that Mustang needs to fly with the wings of angels if it wants to stand a chance at this point. And fly it does, seemingly coming out with a nose. No, the Mini up passes him up. And that's it. That's a shutout. Mini goes into the box, showing a time of 9.243. It also a very consistent car. And that's the end for Wertner. His GT40 and now this effective Mini, I highly doubt that Steven is going to be too concerned with the old Mustang. Round 9, Match 1, Katie versus Amanda. Two girls who know each other in actuality, and now are racing each other on the circuit for first time. Let's see who gets knocked out. The Mercedes looks like it's taking off. Look out, it is an arrow sailing into the box. The Daytona is making its last 8.140. 313 miles an hour. Look out. The Mercedes may be small, but it is very angry. The Daytona needs everything possible for it to win. The Mercedes once again proving its superior speed. A couple slides, but it goes sailing into the box. The Daytona crosses the line about a second and a half later. 9.093 this time. I suppose the cat's out of the bag on that one. There's now a new name to watch for. And speed is the name of her game. Match 10, round 1. Hutch, Crazy 8, Gabriel Millen, the red F50. Let's see if it has better luck than its purple brethren. Crazy 8 taking off, the F50 staying in the frame. Crazy 8 is sliding, the F50 tries for the pass, but isn't able to complete it. Crazy 8 coming off with a somewhat lackluster 9.5. when we've seen him do better. Gabriel versus Hutch, take 2. The F50 definitely sticking right with him, going into the spiral side by side. The F50 takes the lead. Hutch is pushing him out of the way, can't complete the pass. The F50 crosses the line. 9.599. Margin of victory at just over 7/100ths of a second. We had to wonder for a second if Crazy 8 was going to break the tradition of Ferraris ending up on flatbeds in this series. Match 11, round 1, Cody Irons taking on the GNR Vintage Diecast Custom Toronado. And if you don't know anything about GNR Vintage Diecast, they have an excellent YouTube racing channel that is dedicated 100% to mostly 60s and 70s vintage diecast racing of all brands. You'll see quite an excellent array of vehicles on that channel. So just a shout out to GNR. We do love you guys here at Poverty Hollow. Without further ado, let's get some. GNR Vintage Diecast taking off the Toronado. Nice commanding lead down into the box. Twin Mill 2 follows him. It'd be nice if you focus. There we go. 9.504. These are swapped. Cars are racked. Round 2, GNR Vintage Diecast in that nice and heavy Toronado. And Cody's got to make some work happen if he wants to beat that 9.5. And they're off. Toronado taking the lead through the spiral once again. To Twin Mill 2 staying in the frame, but not quite enough. And a commanding win. Just a hair faster this time. 9.411. So the word is out. There's another Johnny Lightning for us to all pay attention to. Match 12, and this should be a fun one. Hutch in his backup car, a 1970 Roadrunner, takes on Mr. Dark in a 1971 Roadrunner. Both of these cars are metal-on-metal chassis classics line vehicles, so this should be interesting to see how they go. But for the moment, it appears to be that Hutch is taking the lead. Mr. Dark is all over him, and a slight wiggle, but into the box. 10.364. Back with round 2. Here we go. This time Mr. Dark takes off like a shot once he gets to the straight. It looks like he clears it going into the box. And the time says Mr. Dark now has 2 Roadrunners. How about that? Man, that is just a lot of Spectra Flame paint. Enjoy, Mr. Dark.